Hey everyone, welcome back to Tapping Out. I'm Tim.
I'm Mario.
We're gonna be talking about Night 2 of WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw. If you want to get our Night 1 predictions, go check out the video on YouTube or check out the podcast on Spotify or Apple Podcasts.
What do you say? Let's get into Night 2.
Do we have to?
Let's. I think we kind of have to. So let's just do it.
hey, we have one shining star here at least. Well, two, but.
So we started off the night, which, listen, going into 2 nights of WrestleMania, if you would have asked me if the better match opening was going to be John Cena in Theory or Brock Lesnar in Omos, I mean, I think everybody would probably have a very clear inch on this, but we would have all been wrong.
Yeah.
Because check out the other video because we already discussed Cena in Theory, but that match was, just listen to it. But I mean, this match was once again kind of common theme. It's what I thought it was. I mean, what do you think?
Exactly. It didn't go on too long. Went under 5 minutes, so I think that was our magic thing. We said this match cannot go longer than 5 minutes. It didn't. So I think because our expectations were that, I wasn't disappointed. I was like, okay, this is a solid way to start.
And I think shout out to me. I guessed the ending exactly. Remember we're watching it?
You did. You're like,
I said it's gonna be 3 suplexes and F5 and we're getting out of here.
Yep, that's exactly what it was. 3 suplexes F5. So that was a good call.
I mean, it was literally like Omos was dominating for the first
like 3 minutes. Yeah.
And, Brock does what he does, his little suplexes, his little F5, and then the match. I mean, this match was completely pointless. Neither one gained anything from this match. This was a total Vince match.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But, like I said, honestly, I went to Theory Cena with high expectations. I was very disappointed. I went into this with no expectations, and it slightly exceeded 0 for me.
Yeah, so we'll take it.
It is what it is.
Exactly. Well, speaking of matches that really were pointless, we had the Women's WrestleMania Showcase Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. Ronda and Shayna, Liv and Raquel, Natty and Shotzi, and Chelsea Green and Sonya. Ronda and Shayna took the win there. What'd you think?
The match was not good. It was not good. I honestly, I watched this match and I watched it again, and I still can't find anything really memorable about this match except that little Tower of Doom move that they did.
Yep.
I think you called this match right. I thought that maybe they were going to start pushing Chelsea Green, so I picked Chelsea Green and Sonya to win. I will say shout out to Sonya Deville. I do appreciate her coming to Chelsea Green a lot.
Very good showing.
She actually. And listen, I'm one of the biggest Sonya Deville critics. I think she sucks, but she showed out in this match, and I think she's actually, if you're gonna pick somebody who kind of stood out,
Sonya Deville.
She actually looked pretty solid, surprisingly. As a theme of Night 2, I believe we did have an injury with Shayna, and the ending was just terrible. It's like Ronda doesn't come in the match the entire time.
Yep.
She comes, she gets tagged in, does her arm bar, wins the match.
Shotzi, right? Tapped.
Yeah, and it was just, Ronda's terrible, and I mean, I was hoping that those reports that we read a couple weeks ago that saying that they don't, they're trying to,
Fox is like, we don't want her.
Yeah, but as we'll talk about on Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know if people are going to be getting what they want anymore.
No.
And I don't want Ronda around anymore, but unfortunately, it looks like they still have plans for her if they're having her win this match. But very, very forgettable match. I don't really even have one to say on this match, to be honest.
Neither do I. I think we spent all too much time on it already.
But now,
here we go.
Now, this is a match that I could talk about all day. I'm actually still thinking about this match.
I am too.
Days later.
I've already watched it 3 times, and
I watched another 3 times right now.
Yeah.
Gunther versus Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre for the Intercontinental Championship, and in the words of Sheamus, banger
after banger
after banger.
Banger.
I mean, what'd you think? I mean, I don't have to ask. I know the answer, but
I told you after this match that not only did I think this was the match of going to be the match of the night and the match of WrestleMania, I think we said this is so far the match of the year, and it's going to be a very hard time being supplanted for me as match of the year. I love this match. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, I think you've already hit on. I mean, the chops.
Oh my.
I mean, you can't. People want to say what they want about some of these fake moves. You can't fake those chops.
No, look at
Sheamus' chest looked like ground beef.
And Gunther wasn't much better.
No, and I loved the time that we got when Gunther kind of left the ring, and we just had and Sheamus doing 30 beats of the body.
Yeah, Drew.
And I love that little one-on-one we had with Drew and Sheamus. When Gunther was out of there, hitting the Brogue, kick it out, hitting the Claymore, kick it out. It was just like three big goons, just beating the hell out of each other.
Which is exactly what you want. You remember a few months ago when Braun Strowman was like, "This is big man wrestling" with him and Omos? Yeah. No, this is big man wrestling.
Because these guys are big men, but they actually can do more than two moves, unlike Braun and Omos.
Yeah. This match, it was perfect. Perfect. Well, Drew didn't win, so it's not perfect, but
the match itself was, the results weren't great, but and honestly, I think the one critique I'll have about night 2 was most of the results were not good. At least in our opinion, they weren't good. But no, this match was incredible. I mean, early match of the year candidate. I think it's already. I think it will win match of the year.
Yep.
And if it does, shout out to Gunther because he could potentially have 2 match of the years in a row.
Same with Sheamus.
And Sheamus.
And then, like we said, you get 2 guys on the match of the year last year, and then you got Drew McIntyre, who is an elite in-ring worker.
And you know what? I love Drew, and I think he's hopefully. I don't know about anymore because I did read some reports that there are a couple big names that if Vince stays around, which we'll get into, that they don't want to be around. I really hope it's not Drew.
And there have already been rumors that Drew hasn't signed a new contract yet. He's in the last year of his deal, which I'm telling you guys right now, we're going wherever Drew goes.
Yeah.
I don't care if we have to find a way to get some obscure cable network to get TNA. If Drew ends up in Impact Wrestling, then looks like you'll be calling Mr. Impact Wrestling.
But what I was kind of getting at too was, man, I was kind of iffy on Gunther for a while, but man, this guy is awesome. He's so good.
Elite. Gunther's elite. The dude.
And I've talked about it ad nauseum before, but I mean, respect for this guy, man. He totally loves the business, and he shows it too, and he honestly, he's probably one of the best Intercontinental champions I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, probably. He's getting into best of all time territory.
Yeah.
And
his reign has been incredible.
Yeah.
It's been every match that he puts on is good.
He put out a banger with Madcap Moss.
And I mean, and even he even was able to somewhat carry Braun Strowman, who's an absolute train wreck in the ring.
Yeah, to a good match.
I mean, this guy just doesn't have. You find me a bad Gunther match. You can't.
Yeah.
You can't find a bad one.
This guy should be a future world champion. I say should because if you would have asked me before the weekend, I would have bet money he'd be world champion the next year. But now with all the uncertainty and Vince back, I don't know. But Gunther should be a future world champion. He is incredible.
Let's move on though because we could talk about this match all night. I want to keep this somewhat to a time limit here tonight. So, you want to get us into the next match?
So tonight we had another championship match. We had Bianca Belair beating Asuka.
Shaking my head.
Yeah.
I listen. I'm gonna say it. Bianca Belair is a barrier, and I can't take it anymore. When is she gonna lose? She's been pinned once in 2 years now, and why? Look, I respect she's good in the ring, but she's boring though, and it's the same thing all the time. And it's not like Asuka is like some nobody. Asuka could be a very good champion. She has been before.
Yeah, she has been. Yeah.
I just don't understand why they're just having Bianca run through Alexa, and Asuka, and it's just why? I just the match itself was good, and like I said, Bianca puts on good matches.
Yeah,
she's fine. My bigger issue is just that she's just becoming such a barrier now. It's just very frustrating. I mean, I don't know what your thoughts are on the match, but I want to put that out there because I'm very upset about that.
Yeah, I enjoyed the match. It was a good match, not a great match. Good match. It was about about what I expected. Bianca had a cool entrance. I thought that was cool.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is not a shot at Bianca's character because
No,
I like what she did about with
and Bianca seems like a really good person.
She's a good person, but listen, John Cena's a good person, but he's still a barrier. It's they're
not mutually exclusive.
It's not. And I know she doesn't necessarily have a say in how these results go and stuff, but it's to me, she's held the title for
over a year now.
Yeah, I mean, and if at this point, if she's steamrolling through big names like Alexa and Asuka, then you're basically saying nobody's beating her.
Yeah, until Becky challenges for a single title.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, if you want to, are you just gonna have a women's division with like Bianca, Asuka, and Becky, and that's it as like the main eventers? You're not gonna try to elevate anybody else.
Yes. Which goes back to they're losing Bayley, which I know you're not a huge Bayley guy, but she can at least be like a fill-in main event, like a.
No.
Yeah, she can.
No.
Yeah, she can. She has been before.
No.
But if you lose Bayley, you lost Mandy Rose.
I'm okay with losing Bayley. I'm not okay with losing Mandy Rose.
You lost Mandy Rose, and last year you've also lost Naomi and Sasha Banks. Those are 4 big names. If you lose all 4 of them, that could potentially be main eventers there.
In the words of Jeff Hardy, I'm not going to say, but Albert.
Yeah.
You cost us Mandy Rose because Mandy Rose would have been an awesome champion on the main roster.
Yeah.
It's a side note from this, but before I forget, Albert, in the words of Jeff Hardy, blank blank.
Yup, exactly. Because the infamous Jeff Hardy dining video to CM Punk. It took me to realize where you're going with that. Yeah, Albert, you suck.
So, we had another Miz segment with Snoop Dogg, and another surprise.
We thought, okay, maybe LA Knight, maybe Bobby Lashley, which Bobby Lashley had already had his,
or Braun Breaker because he's got that dog in him. But no, we got Shane McMahon, and listen, and you touched on this. Shane McMahon, you want to bring him back even last night. Actually, Shane McMahon would have been actually a great surprise considering what we got.
Yeah, we would have considering what we got in Raw. Shane McMahon would have been like, oh my god, Shane McMahon's back.
But the most notable thing about this was, I think, 2 things. Was Shane McMahon basically tearing up his knee trying to do a leapfrog. And shout out to Snoop Dogg for doing very good improv. Yeah. Because that was insane. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Yeah. Shouts to Snoop for saving WrestleMania. I remember, what was it, like 6-7 years ago, Pitbull ruined WrestleMania? How about Snoop saved WrestleMania? But yeah, it was good to see Snoop, and yeah, Shane McMahon. I think I told you, Shane McMahon would have been a fine return for like a random Raw in October, but yeah. But it's like okay, like it's WrestleMania, and that goes on the theme. Shane McMahon, Pat McAfee on their own, fun surprises. Yeah. And if you had Braun Breaker one of the other nights, I don't think we'd have a problem with Shane McMahon and Pat McAfee the other night.
No.
Or LA Knight, which I cannot wait to get to LA Knight when we talk about Raw.
Especially because I think there were reports that he was supposed to have a segment with Bobby Lashley.
Yep, and it got scrapped, which for both men, they deserve that.
Oh, and because I'm done talking about this segment, Bobby Lashley coming out and just walking out with the Andre the Giant Memorial Trophy, like that's it. Yeah, and don't get me started on people just coming out for 5 minutes and just walking out doing nothing. Like why? Listen. See what you want about Bobby Lashley? I think we're both kind of on this. We're not the biggest Bobby Lashley fans, but he's a big name in the company. Yeah, he's immensely popular, and he's worked his ass off this past year too. Yeah. You could say Bobby Lashley is he's a workhorse. He goes out there and you can tell he cares. And how did you not? I mean, honestly, we're gonna get into more, but I mean this pay-per-view. We're getting to the event like 10:30. They managed to kill a half hour with just fill-in fucking bullshit. Yeah, at that point, just let us go to bed. That's what we're saying, like, just please. And you could have used that 15-20 minutes to give Lashley a segment and bring Mr. LA Knight out there. Do you remember the rumors that LA Knight was going to get a segment with Stone Cold? Yeah, we were far beyond that, and I'm just spoiling right now. I am very worried for our boy LA Knight.
I'm very worried. I don't know how they can hear that crowd reaction on Friday during the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. He was the most override of anybody. And they're like, nope, we don't have a spot for you.
You give this guy the opportunity, he'll be better than The Rock. You know, he just needs opportunity, and I don't know where he's going at this point. And all you have to do, I mean, for that 20 to 30 minutes that they just prolonged with filler things, you could have spotlighted another talent and try to bring him up.
Yep.
You know, give him a. I mean, how are you gonna say we're gonna have an LA Knight moment? You know, an LA moment.
They promised it to us, and they didn't give it to us.
No, and Vince. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
We're
gonna get into it, but there's other things I want to say about Vince that
I can read your mind, bud.
I don't want to get canceled already, so I'm not gonna say anything about Vince. But I think everybody. But you know what? I think there's a lot of people that feel this way.
I think so too.
I mean, you can see the reaction on Twitter and stuff like that. It was. We'll get into it, but let's get through night 2, and then we can start cooking.
Exactly. Yep. So I'll talk about the next match. We had the Hell in a Cell match with Edge defeating Finn Balor, the Demon. What'd you think?
Honestly, I'm just gonna cook for a minute right here. You have a Hell in a Cell match. You have Edge saying he wants to do some crazy things. Now, I don't know if the injury to Finn, which kind of put a stop to what they were going to do, but if you bring back the old style Hell in a Cell, for the love of everything, for the love of God, just say it. I wanted to. Why not fight on top of the cell? I mean, this match was another Hell in a Cell style match where Edge did one cool thing where he put the candlesticks, and shout out to the candlesticks for being purple and the chairs for being red and everything. That was kind of cool.
That was cool.
I did like Edge like pitting Balor up against the cage with the candlesticks, kind of like holding him in a jail cell like bars. But I mean the match was good, but it wasn't. I've seen similar matches, with this kind of weapons they use and how they use the cell, and Edge is Edge is a lunatic. Finn Balor's a lunatic.
Exactly. You could have gotten.
I thought this was going to be the time where we're gonna see climbing on the cage. I thought we were going to see Balor get thrown off. And look at the entrances were really cool, and seeing Team Demon Finn for the first time in years was really good.
Yeah.
But I just thought there was a lot of holes in this match.
I agree.
I think not using the cell, not using the cell in a cool way, like fighting on top, getting thrown off, not having Judgment Day run out and interfere, I know I was still holding on hope to the very, very end. I know it's like that we're gonna get Christian and Gangrel because we got the Edge Brood entrance.
Yeah, that would. I know it would have been near impossible, especially now that Vince is back. But it would have been 0.01% chance we would have gotten Christian if the companies worked out a deal.
But you know what? If rumors were true that all Hunter had to do was announce Christian as AEW star Christian, and he said no,
Billy Gunn,
then you know what? Hunter's no better than Vince, because that would have been a moment. You want to have a moment, have Christian come back and Gangrel is the Brood, and have Judgment, like that would have been awesome. Yep. Like I said, I don't want to speculate too much because I don't know what else they had planned if Finn didn't get injured. Which he was the third person to get injured. But overall, the match itself was a standard good Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, it was
nothing
good.
Crazy, but the outcome made zero sense to me. Even if you have to rush the ending because Finn got hurt, let Finn get the win. Edge winning here made absolutely no sense.
Especially as the Demon. The Demon's supposed to be a special protected gimmick, so having the Demon lose is not good.
And Edge has won basically every match in this feud minus the I Quit match, which, as we said before, it was the only one it took all of Judgment Day and them threatening Beth for them to actually beat Edge.
Yeah.
Finn has looked very, very weak in this. And listen, Edge is going to be retiring soon. Finn is still... Finn's like 41 or 42. This guy still looks phenomenal. And he's still very, very good.
Finn's probably on the best run of his career right now, at least in WWE.
But why? And I really hope I'm going to give Edge the benefit of the doubt that this wasn't his decision, because Edge is not somebody who's known to bury people.
No.
But once again, Edge, enough's enough, man. It was like third or fourth guy he's injured in his career now, severely.
Yeah.
I mean, enough's enough. I mean, I know a lot of people like Edge. I've been a little down on Edge recently. It's been noted, but I mean, come on, dude.
Yeah.
And I mean, and now you're injuring. Listen, everybody's important, but now you're injuring like a top star now. You gotta be a little more careful.
Yeah, hopefully.
I mean, that's a gash. I mean, that's like a scar on his head.
Yeah.
If you ever seen that picture?
Yeah, and
it's a little graphic, so warning. But check it out on Twitter if you want to. It's graphic.
Yeah, Finn wasn't even a thought last night on Raw, so hopefully he's not gone too long.
So,
are we getting into it now?
So I only think I had 2 predictions right on night 2, but I had the prediction. I had the one. I had the one of the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns defeating Cody, or he did defeat Cody Rhodes, but he faced Cody Rhodes for the Undisputed Championship. What were your thoughts on this match? I know there's a lot to take in. This was intense.
The match itself was a very, very great match.
Like, very, very good.
I could even probably say it was an elite match. I know we disagree here. I think Cody should have gone over. I really do. I'm kind of, I love Roman Reigns, but also he's had 6 title defenses in the past year. He hasn't had one clean one, not one clean one. And it's just getting to the point where it's like, let Roman win clean. He's if he's the tribal chief, let him win clean. If he's the dominant force, let him win clean. And especially with Solo going back and forth and back and forth. It's a WrestleMania main event. I want to see a clean WrestleMania main event. But
do you understand long-term storytelling?
Oh, don't.
Listen, no.
Is Cody going to be as hot as he was?
Look here.
Sunday night.
You had Cody come back after about a year. He predictably enters 30. Predictably wins the Rumble. Gets his main event match. You've had Roman Reigns, who's champion for over 945 days at this point. You think they're going to have him drop the titles and Cody Rhodes is elite. He's top 5 in the company. Future Hall of Famer, not taking anything away from him.
I wouldn't get too sure on Future Hall of Famer.
Well, in the words of Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans, he's a Hall of Famer in my book. But you need to, and the reason why they didn't have Roman win clean is so. Listen, if you want to see Cody still win these titles, which I still think he's going to do. Listen. Let me finish. He's gonna win the titles, SummerSlam, maybe down the road. If you had Roman beat him clean, he's gonna look even worse. Listen, I mean, if you want Cody to win the titles, him losing clean would be the worst thing. I mean, he's gonna look really weak.
I just don't think he's ever gonna be as hotter as he was Sunday night. The crowd was electric for him.
No, it'll still be a big moment for him. And as we're gonna talk about on Raw. It makes sense. I will say after kind of thinking about it, the main event of Raw last night actually made more sense to me, which I'll get into.
Yeah, I kind of saw a few things. It still bothers me.
Yeah. But listen, you said that you would acknowledge Roman Reigns as your champion, so
I'm acknowledging. I acknowledge my tribal chief Roman Reigns as my undisputed WWE Universal Champion.
And
happy.
Shout out to Roman Reigns as well. Just a few years ago, this guy was struggling to do 5 moves in a match.
Yeah.
This guy put on over 30-minute banger.
Yeah.
And he was phenomenal in this match, and so was Cody. And too, I think Cody did a phenomenal job of really making look like he's going to win that title. I mean, he came down the ring, he was high-fiving people, kissing his family.
Brody Lee Jr., which is always going to see Brody Lee Jr. in that,
I thought it was 50. I thought it was kind of close to 50-50, but in my head, I'm still like, there's no way Cody's not losing this match. In my head, the only thing that I thought that why Roman would win would be that he was champion for they wanted to hit that 1,000 days. And that was one of my big reasons why I thought he was going to win. I didn't necessarily know if that was going to be enough, to have him actually win the match. but man, I mean, two icons who really put on a show, and Cody made it seem like he was going to win this match so many times, and that just out of a really good match. When he hit that second crossface going for the third, like, oh, he's winning this match. Yep. It's over. I mean, I think he kicked out of like 2 or 3 finishers. Roman kicked out of like multiple finishers as well.
Kick, 2 crossroads, stunner.
Yeah, he kicked out of a Luva kick and a stunner, and did he get hit with the crossroads before he got pinned too?
Yeah.
I mean, Roman Reigns is one of the greatest champions of all time. I mean, he's put on a hell of a run. I know we disagree. He doesn't defend the titles as much, but I mean, he's still a great champion. Would I like to see him win clean more? Yes. Would it make sense to win clean against Cody still? No, it wouldn't. You want to win clean against somebody else, even like Kevin or something like that, that's fine. But if you really want to see Cody still win these titles, I think the ending made sense for what they wanted to accomplish. But
it's just like, I'm still lost in the fact that, we were told Drew's not getting his moment because someone else gets the moment down the road. Then Sami's not getting his moment because Cody's getting it. And Cody's not getting it because I don't know where Roman goes. Well, Roman's taking a hiatus now, so we're probably last time we see Roman for a couple months. So, which is another thing. Like they really didn't think when they put these titles together that hey, these championships aren't going to get defended as much because USA is pissed. They want a champion.
Yeah, I mean, they're not splitting the titles until Roman drops them.
Yeah.
And I don't even know how that would even work. I don't know how they would do that. It'd almost be like you almost have to strip Roman of the titles and then break them up.
Yeah.
Because he's not losing one of the titles. When he loses them both.
Yeah. Or someone like Cody won, then he's like, I'm gonna defend them separate, and then he loses one of them. And
yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was an elite match. Still not a fan of the ending.
You'll get over it though.
I guess. Well,
so I know we kind of discussed our grades for night 1. What's your grade for night 2, and did you think it was better than night 1?
Here's the thing. I don't, but I almost want to give it close to the same grade because of 2 matches. The main event, and listen, if I'm on record right now that Gunther, Drew, and Sheamus match it might be recency bias, but it's one of my favorite matches of all time.
Yeah.
So that's why I almost got to give it a 7, just based on those 2 matches. How about you?
It's hard. I was this whole time I'm thinking that night 1 was definitely better. I still think night 1 is better, but it's a lot closer now. I gave night 1 like a 7 out of 10. I think this is, a 6.5 to 7. It's pretty close. The triple threat match really saved night 2.
Yeah.
It really saved night 2.
Yeah, because it was just the main event that you could be like, okay, this show was shit until the main event. But you had the triple threat match in there, which...
So I'm going to give it around the same. I think it was pretty close. I still think night 1 was better, though, overall. But both... I think it was a lot of lackluster matches mixed in with, very, very elite matches. I kind of described this whole WrestleMania as very top-heavy.
Yeah, yep, very top-heavy.
Like, you had elite matches, and then you had very bad matches.
Yeah. The highs were so high.
And the lows were very, very low.
Yeah.
So I know we kind of talked about it on, for night 1. On night 2, I mean, I know you kind of touched on it. I mean, as far as a lot of these people, who have the titles, I mean, I know he's, Roman, you probably think is taking a hiatus. I think we could both agree that Bianca's probably not going to be losing her titles for a while.
No, don't know who she's going to face.
I don't think Gunther's losing. Gunther's not dropping that title anytime soon, which...
No.
Listen, I love Drew, but I'm okay with Gunther being the IC champion. I'm just gonna hope that either Drew goes for a main event title, which probably not gonna happen, or he just leaves the company and goes like AEW or something like that because it's we're gonna get into this.
Yeah.
I think we've pretty much hit on everything for night 2.
And I think favorite match, I'm going triple threat. How about you?
Yeah, triple threat. Yeah, I think that's so.
Yeah.
Let's get into one of the real reasons why I wanted to actually hop on and record tonight was to talk about the absolute dog shit, and not the worst Raw after WrestleMania of all time, arguably the worst Raw. Yeah. I'm saying right now, the worst Raw of all time.
It was terrible. Terrible.
I mean, after kind of seeing, reading reports now, we kind of opened with Triple H coming out, and now it almost seems like Hunter
was saying goodbye.
Yeah, kind of saying like goodbye, like I'm done.
Yeah.
Like Vince is back in charge. Yep. And as we're gonna talk about, Vince had his name stamped all over this night.
Yep. And first of all, so let's talk about the sale real quick, because that's why Vince is back in charge. What dumb company buys the company and says, "Oh, we want Vince McMahon in charge"? The 80-year-old who is out of touch with reality, who honestly should be in prison, who legitimately go look up the allegations. There's multiple, so I'm not going to get into that. But this man should be in prison, and this Endeavor decides, "Hey, let's have him on our company." Like, what are we doing here? And what are we doing here?
And now we're getting into things too with Nick Khan, who's also you know what? Oh, we might start charging for pay-per-views again. This is the product you're putting out, and you have the gall to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna start charging for pay-per-views after this dog shit product that you put out last night.
Guys, I'm telling you right now, if they start charging for pay-per-views monthly, you might get us for Royal Rumble WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I would never pay for any smaller pay-per-views again. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And we're gonna touch on this. I just can't. I was thinking about this all day, and I still can't get over how bad this Raw was.
I know.
I have no words to describe this Raw except dog shit.
If Drew, Sheamus, and Gunther was a match that reminded me why I love wrestling, this reminded me why sometimes I'm like, okay, so this is why I didn't watch Raw. This is why I took breaks.
And Tony Khan is happier than a pig in you know what, because he's like, man, if Vince is back in charge, people are going to switch over to AEW, and we will too.
Yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. Like, he's probably so happy right now. MJF, FTR.
Yeah.
You think FTR is going anywhere?
Yeah. If FTR was supposed to lose the titles tomorrow, they are not losing the titles anymore. Or I'm sorry, if they're supposed to lose the match, they are not losing that match anymore because they're seeing what's going on. And there's even reports now that Jay White ain't coming back, and I don't know the details. I don't want to speculate, but I wouldn't be surprised if he heard that Vince is back in charge. Like, I ain't signing there.
Yeah, Matt Cardona. First of all, Vince went, oh, Matt Cardona. Oh, that's Zack Ryder. We're gonna bring him back.
Vince hates people that put themselves over, which is why LA Knight is doomed. Doomed.
Get ready for Max Dupree again. I'm gonna lose my mind when we get Max Dupree again. Because LA Knight's getting himself over. Look at all these guys who've gotten themselves over. Vince doesn't care. It's all about what he wants. This out-of-touch 80-year-old man.
Let's at least get into the Raw, and then we can kind of talk about it afterwards. Otherwise, we could talk about it for another hour.
Yeah.
Let's get into
the commercial-free first hour.
So we kind of touched on it already. It opened with Triple H coming out and kind of being like, oh, things aren't going to change. Obviously he was talking about the sale, the merger with UFC. Things aren't going to change. Things are going to kind of be the same. But at first I'm like, okay, obviously he's probably talking about the sale and stuff. But now that the reports that Vince is back in charge, it's like, hey, I'm done. Like Vince is in charge. I have no more say in this. Mm-hmm. Please don't leave. But people are going to leave. If Vince is really has say, I know he already scrapped a bunch of stuff that was supposed to happen that last night. And, I mean, we did, after Triple H came out, we did get Cody, and Roman, and Solo and Paul.
Yep.
Not a bad way to start the show.
No, not at all.
But, I'm sure you feel the same way. They kind of talked about, Cody wanted a rematch last night. Roman said no. Of course, how about a tag team match? Surprise partner. And this is kind of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
When we're like, oh, surprise partner. Oh, it's gonna be Braun Breaker.
Or Randy Orton.
It's gonna be Randy Orton. Even like in
Matt Cardona.
Right. And who did we get?
Brock Lesnar.
Which,
surprising in itself, but
Brock Lesnar has been wrestling consistently for a little bit now. It's not like it's a surprise. I was actually kind of shocked to find out that Brock hasn't wrestled a tag team match on Raw since 2002. It actually hasn't wrestled a singles match on Raw since like 2002 either.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I mean, in that aspect, it's kind of cool. But this was definitely a bad omen because you expect the Raw to WrestleMania. Oh, we're getting a surprise partner. We're getting somebody. We're getting a Randy. A Zack Ryder. Matt Cardona. We're getting. Even like an LA Knight, like somebody who's like who's gonna be awesome. And Brock was boring. It was boring. It was boring.
It was surprising.
It was shocking. But it was more shocking because Brock.
What?
Like really? But it wasn't a good shock. It was more like, wow, this is not a good sign for the night.
Yeah.
All right. So they set up the tag team match to be the main event there. Now, I don't have words to describe what we got next. And if this is not a Vince doing, then I don't know what is.
Yep.
We have. I need a second. You can take it.
We had Omos beat Elias, which just wasted about 5 minutes of our commercial free. I don't really think we need to talk more about this match. It was the biggest waste of time.
Elias didn't get one move of all. No. It was like, this is what you put on for your Raw to WrestleMania and your commercial free hour.
And a match that doesn't advance any story. It's not like someone came out and challenged Omos afterwards. This is the product you put out. This is the product they put out.
And they want to charge us for pay-per-views going forward.
Oh, don't worry.
What? So we can get a mid-card match on Backlash of Omos and like Rick Boogs.
Yeah, that's what we're getting next week. Oh my God, Backlash is gonna be Omos against Elias and Rick Boogs, and he's still gonna beat them both. That's exactly what's gonna happen. Let's move on, please, because I can't talk about this anymore.
So to end the first commercial-free hour, we had Rey Mysterio, which
once again, give me another thank you speech. It's like we've gotten them.
We watched his speech on Friday night. We saw the highlights of it all weekend, and you're really going to use the first hour to just have him come out again and make another thank you speech?
Yeah.
Like, we get it, right? Yeah, good. You made the Hall of Fame. I don't like Rey Mysterio. I don't care if it's unpopular. I don't like Rey Mysterio. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to see him in the commercial hour. And I don't want to see the person who also came out to confront him either.
Down. Yeah.
Like, this is a step up from Omos and Elias, but not by much. It's not. Why? I don't understand why anybody thinks we care about Theory against Rey Mysterio. I don't understand. It was just a lot of gibberish, trash talk back and forth.
Led to a match, and
we actually this match actually led to the best part of the night, which was seeing Damian Priest.
Yes, by far the best part of that team.
Throw Bad Bunny, throw him to a table.
Yep, which that'll go to a Backlash match, I'm sure.
But there wasn't. I don't really not much to say about this match. I don't care about this match.
No.
It's more that this commercial-free hour was abysmal. It was absolutely abysmal.
You know what sucks? We told ourselves we're not going to hype ourselves up, but then we saw a commercial-free hour, and they got us. They tricked us.
But see, I thought I was going to go in with lower expectations because last year's Raw after WrestleMania was not good. But I'm still like, you know what? But I'm still like, you know what? We're probably going to get something good, a surprise or something. It was just horrible. Mm-hmm. It was horrible. I don't know how they can look at themselves today and feel happy about what they did and what they put out last night. I really, it's shameful. It's shameful.
Yep, it is.
It's honestly disrespectful to all the fans and viewers what they put out.
I agree. It's
all the people that supported them, spent all this money. How much? Can you imagine the money they made off of WrestleMania? And this is the product they put out there. And we talked about it. WrestleMania was mid at best, anyways. And this was even worse.
Yeah. once again, you can tell it's all Vince booking, which I know popular on Twitter last night. I saw a bunch of Twitter accounts saying, just because you don't like something doesn't mean you can say it's Vince booking instead of Triple H booking. Well, guess what? You were wrong. We were right. Yep. It was Vince booking, so I don't want to hear it.
I have no respect for anybody that goes to bat for Vince.
Yeah.
You know what?
He's not only is he a bad booker right now.
He's a bad person.
He's a bad person.
He's done a lot of messed up things in his life. You know, and we can record a whole show about the terrible things that Vince has done.
Exactly.
To his family, to his his
employees.
wife, his kids. His employees. Like he's horrible.
Yeah.
He's a horrible person, and he should be away from this company. I don't know how he just manages to just keep inserting himself back into this company. It's almost like he's trying to just sabotage the company.
Yeah, well, because he can't let go. He's too stubborn to let go, and he's gonna. Morale sucks backstage. I'm sure that's what all the reports are. So, yeah, it's.
All right, let's move on. Yeah, let's just try to finish this so this isn't 2 hours. Because I could talk another 2 hours about Vince.
Yeah.
So, you want to get us into this?
Yeah. Yep. So we had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn kind of celebrating. They challenged someone to come out. Street Profits come out and challenge them. Should be a good match on paper. And it was a solid match, but the Street Profits won for WrestleMania Night 1. I don't think I've ever heard as bad a reaction from the Street Profits. The crowd did not care about them.
Honestly, it was almost like whoa, like I was shocked, because the Street Profits are fun. I don't like Angelo Dawkins. I like Montez Ford.
Mm-hmm.
But they're the type that the crowd always still gets all hyped up when they come out. But you know what it is? They're like the default team where it's like, oh, we don't, who's gonna come out and face this team? All the Street Profits. Who's gonna come out and save the day?
Yeah, and we always joke. It's like, Street Profits time.
And I honestly think that people are just getting kind of sick of their whole thing, of their whole gimmick and stuff. And we've been saying it. I think the Street Profits need to break up soon. Montez Ford has shown that he could put on a banger of a solo match.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to go solo. Unfortunately, that means Angelo Dawkins is probably going to be released or relegated to matches with, Mustafa Ali or Rick Boogs. I keep dropping the names, but this wasn't going to come to mind when I think of jobbers on Raw. But we even get that would have actually been a huge positive. He Dolph Ziggler last night.
It wasn't even an afterthought.
The match itself was okay, but it was more just hilarious because the crowd was dead. And look back to the night. I'll never forget the night after WrestleMania when Dolph Ziggler cashed in. Dude, that crowd electric. This crowd was dead. D-E-A-D dead.
Yep.
It was bad. You could literally hear a pin drop in that arena for this match.
Yeah, and it's crazy because they managed to get a crowd, which they did react for Sami Zayn eventually, but it took a little bit. In a Sami Zayn match, the crowd's usually electric, and it's because that they kind of didn't really give you any big surprises or anything major that the fans liked all weekend, and so then it's like, okay, you're going to keep giving us, I like the Street Profits a lot, actually, but you're going to keep giving us the same things. We're not going to react.
And the thing that didn't make any sense was, you were assuming that they won, the showcase match.
So you're going to get a tag title shot.
Yeah, they're going to get a tag title shot, and nope.
Non-title match.
Because now, you can't give a title match now. They just lost clean to them on Raw. They didn't get a title match now. It makes no sense.
No.
But it just kept with the theme about how horrible this was, and it got even worse.
Yep.
Because, and I said it to you last, I'm like, listen, I love Seth Rollins, but I was just with the mood I was in watching this, I'm not in the mood for Seth in his games last night. And we saw him in the getting a little backstage. I'm like, you know what? If the most we get is a backstage interview, I'm fine with that. But then I heard him say, "Oh, play my music, DJ."
Yep.
And then we go to commercial break. We come back and we see him just hyping up the crowd for his song. Mm-hmm. And then he just walks out.
You know what I read? Apparently they had something planned for him. Commercial break, they cut it. So he's supposed to have something, they cut it.
Cut it for what? I think I read it somewhere last night where we had a 3-hour show. I think we had like under 30 minutes of actual wrestling on a 3-hour show.
On World Wrestling Entertainment.
I mean, that was just another complete waste of time. And speaking of waste of time, go ahead.
So we get into Bobby Lashley, who's starting a feud with Bronson Reed, which we're thrilled about. But
Team Bobby.
Team Bobby for sure. And then he's saying, I need a match. Mustafa Ali, who comes in with his positive Ali, with his little beanie and all that, says, all right, and then Bobby brings him out to the ring. They have their match. Bobby wins. Nothing really to write home about, to be honest. I don't think we can spend much more time on that.
No, it was just another. I make you think it's dog shit. It was just another dog shit thing to add to this mess of a Raw.
Cook.
I mean, then we had Bianca come out, and she did her whole little hoopla that she likes to talk about. Honestly, then Rhea came out and they kind of had their little one-on-one. Honestly, compared to what it was, probably one of the better things of the night. But it was just them basically talking about I'm better, no, I'm better.
So and
they're setting themselves up for honestly probably a WrestleMania match next year. I would assume
they better not unify the women's titles.
No,
they start splitting titles, not unifying them.
No, but there was we're gonna move on.
And hey, we had a number one contenders match for the women's titles, but it does not include any of the team that won the women's title match with Ronda and Shayna. I know Shayna's probably hurt, and that's probably not happening, but just very interesting. So we had Raquel and Liv Morgan beat Damage Control. Damage Control without Bayley, so it looks like, Bayley was supposed to appear too, I read, and then she got cut out, so it's like, okay, I don't know why you cut Bayley out of being there, but...
Well, I mean, and I know I touched on it, I think on earlier, but Damage Control is going downhill, I think if Bayley's gone, and this is a sign because Io Sky and Dakota Kai are both Vince, women. I'm sorry, Hunter women. So, they've just been losing constantly.
Yeah.
And this match was worthless. I don't care about this. To me, this doesn't mean anything. You know that Raquel and Liv are not beating Becky and Lita anyways. No. So this was just another waste of time. And to top it off, this was the main event match of the night.
Yeah.
This was the last match of the night that we got. So you're telling me Raw after WrestleMania, they said, the last match tonight we're going to give them is Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan versus Damage Control. That's what everybody wants to see.
Insane. And so then I thought, okay, cool. I was begging, like, please let the Miz come out. Because I'm like, all right, at least the Miz comes out.
I don't know if we got enough time. I'm glad we had enough. Well, not anymore. I was like, okay, well, cool. You came out.
He'll do Miz TV, and we'll get a surprise. And you and I were like, Braun Breaker. We thought it was going to be Braun Breaker. Which...
He's got that dog.
He's got that dog in him. We need to see... First of all, the fact that Braun Breaker's not in the main roster yet is sickening. But the surprise, it was almost the complete opposite of Braun Breaker. We saw Matt Riddle.
Bro.
Matt Riddle.
Speaking of...
bad people.
And I guarantee that this was a Vince doing because bad people hang out with other bad people.
Yep.
Because Riddle is another terrible person.
Yep.
He's on just look it up. You don't have to get into it.
Yeah.
Just look it up yourself and see the things that he's done. He's a horrible person.
Yep.
And once he left for rehab, I'm like, just release him.
Yeah,
just get rid of him.
It was so good not seeing him. So good.
Just get rid of him. He's, he is what he is. I know some people still like him for some reason. I don't get it, but people still seem to like him. I don't know why. But this was the surprise. You forced us to watch this. Not force us, but we watch it anyway. But we watched this terrible product up until the last half hour of the show.
Still with our hopes up.
And we're like, you know what? Maybe you can somewhat salvage this night just a little bit. Give us Braun Breaker, give us Matt Cardona, give us LA Knight, give us something, and you give us one of the worst options you can do. Randy Orton would have been 1,000 times better. Like,
I agree.
I don't get this.
I understand.
I'm going to move on because...
we can keep going, forever.
And then we got into the main event, which, at this point, everybody was so just down on this. Everybody was so just drained and so down. I mean, we're supposed to get, Solo and Roman against Brock and Cody. And right after they do their, Mike Rome does his little, announcements for everybody. Brock F5's Cody. Now, at first, I was more pissed about this because, so Brock beats up Cody for like 10 minutes. Puts him through a table, puts him through a chair. I'm like, you know what? Somebody's gonna come out. Somebody's gonna come out and help Cody. And we didn't get anything.
No.
And we got Brock, and then Brock came back out a second time. Like, I'll stay. He's coming back out. He's gonna keep beating him up. We'll get somebody come out. Randy. I don't care who it was.
Yeah.
Anybody.
No one.
I won't say anybody because
we did that before and we got rid of it. So.
But it makes sense now to me because in the sense that they're really making Cody, like, they're really gonna try to make him look like really not weak but like vulnerable. But this is all gonna build him back up to win these titles eventually. That aside, which I agree with.
I hope
and
so.
Listen.
With Vince in charge, I honestly don't know.
But that aside, it's just the fact that this is how you end it with not even somebody running out, and even like this is how you end it. And Brock came back out and gave them 2 middle fingers, and I think that was Vince giving that to all of us.
Yep, saying like F you guys,
F you guys, I'm in charge now. This is what you're getting. Take it or leave it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It was.
I don't like my favorites become borderline jokes, and honestly, I can see the vision if I trusted that they could land it. I have no faith that Cody's going to win the titles. I really don't. I can see them fumbling this. So can you not see them fumbling this?
No, I don't know if Vince is truly in charge. I don't know where this company's going at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I know what it means. It's going to be your new undisputed champion, the Nigerian Giant, Omos.
Yep. Say goodbye.
Get ready for WrestleMania 40, which we're going to next year. The main event of Brock Lesnar versus Omos.
Yeah. At first I was kind of thinking, like, before the whole Vince stuff came out, I was like, oh, maybe I'll be okay if they put Cody Roman next year and Cody wins. But no, it's gonna be Omos.
Your new undisputed tag team champions, Rick Boogs. They're gonna like it, pal. Rick Boogs a big guy, pal. They like big guys.
I say goodbye to your Gunther pushes. Say goodbye to LA Knight. Bye LA Knight. It was nice knowing you. And
you know what? If this is truly what's happening, they need to stage a walkout. That's the only way things are gonna change. None of us are wrestling. None of us, and I'm fine with that. If they want to stage a walkout and say, we're not putting on any shows until Vince is out of here, I'm 1,000% okay with that. If it means not having wrestling for a month, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
If it enacts long-term change just to get rid of Vince, I'm okay with that.
Anything.
I don't understand how you read reports of some main event talent saying, listen, I'm asking for my release if Vince is in charge. Other people, I'm asking for my release. I don't want to sign. I'm not signing there. How do they think this is good?
Yeah.
They're you know what? Hunter, I have issues with Hunter too and some decisions he's made. But am I going to say the company's better with him in charge? 1,000% yes.
The talent loved working under Hunter. Chad Gableson goes push. Not going to happen. Michael Cole, who has been the best he's ever been since Vince left and was out of his ear. Is Vince going to get back in his ear now? It was really a disappointment.
And it's going to affect the product in general because morale is low, and and you're going to start seeing it on some of these shows.
Yep.
That they're not going to put their heart and soul into this, and we're going to be able to tell if Vince is truly in charge. SmackDown Friday is going to be very telling.
It is.
It's going to be very, very telling to see what we get. I'm not expecting much at all.
Or it could make us look like fools for how angry we've been. Which, me, I don't like to be negative. I'm usually a pretty positive guy.
But I think we have a right to. If you disagree, if you didn't watch last night's show, just watch it and then tell us you disagree. And just read up on Vince and the things he's done and tell us you disagree.
Yeah, that's all we gotta say about that.
I got really nothing else to say.
Neither do I.
I think we pretty much we spoke our mind, and I think we got our point across. So
yep, we're gonna what do you say we go watch some NXT?
Let's do it.
All right, we're tapping out, guys.